I believe that the Bible talks more about poverty, about greeting the stranger, about being there for the convicted, far more than it talks about the kind of toxic stuff you often hear the president spewing out there.
I'm a pastor here in town, and in my faith tradition, we keep partisan politics out of the pulpit. But as a citizen and a person of faith, I do have my own opinions. And I find President Trump's whole demeanor and most of his policies to be abhorrent, or should be, to persons of faith. So I would like to ask you, can you share with us how your own faith would influence you as president?
God, thank you for that question. So I just want to say up front that I'm a person that often says that before you tell me about your religion, show it to me in how you treat other people. I was raised in a church where my mom taught Sunday school, and I'll never forget learning that verse, that faith without works is dead. And I'll tell you what, this is what often bothers. I would rather hang out with a nice atheist than a mean Christian any day of the week. So thank you for asking me about my faith. You asked, and I will share. The foundation of my life was raising with a faith in God. But I was taught that faith demands, first and foremost, humility before God. That you look at your brother and sister, regardless of their faith, regardless of their background, with a conviction of love. Love thy neighbor. And love is not easy. And it really bothers me that when folks think that being loving or kind, I tell you, to be strong, you don't need to be cruel. To be tough, you don't need to be mean. Christ is the center of my life. I believe in that radical love of all people. I have learned from faithful people that I'll never forget the faithful woman who was the tenant president of my projects that I lived in, who really taught me that hope is the active conviction that despair will not have the last word. And on President Trump's first Muslim ban, I remember running out to the airport where I saw the whole concourse full of Americans yelling and chanting and singing patriotic slogans as people came into this country, like Abraham welcoming strangers in the desert. And one of the best sights I've ever saw was a bunch of Jewish Americans with yarmulkes and tzitzis hanging out, cheering and dancing as Muslim countries came into this community. Fundamental to Islam, to Christianity, to the Torah, to Sikh and Hindu Americans is this ideal of creating a beloved community. There's a song sung during the high holidays, Ki beiti beit tefillah l'chol ha'amim. May my house be a house of prayer for many nations. We are the United States of America. We were not formed as a theocracy. We were formed on the ideal that many of us in our diversity can come together and create one strong whole, e pluribus unum. And if I am president of the United States, I will fight every day to put more indivisible into this one nation under God. Wow.